everybody. Mark and Brody here with your weekly real estate real world update.
Yeah, this week we wanted to talk about a couple things. The importance of a business, not just real estate, but the importance of running a business. And I always tell everybody, if you want to be a successful real estate investor and run a successful business, no matter what you do, if you cannot deal with people and situations, you'll never be successful. Because every business, well, for the most part, I guess, every business involves dealing with people because you're always
Correct.
selling a widget, right? That's what makes money. And you're always dealing with people, correct?
Yep, correct.
So dealing with people and situations is a huge part of real estate investing. Of course, you want to get the deals. Of course, you want to rehab the houses correctly. Of course, you want to sell the houses. Of course, you want to do all these things to make it line up. But when all the smoke clears, really it all boiled down to dealing with the people and the situations throughout the whole transaction. Like sellers, you always got to deal with sellers, build a relationship after all to your clients, right?
Sellers, buyers. I mean, to get people, first of all, you got to have something to sell, obviously. But we're kind of past that. That's what we're going to talk about today. It's just how you deal with the people that come to you or you go to them in order to make them feel comfortable with you. Mm-hmm. Make sure that everything feels, like that they're getting a deal and we're getting a deal, and you're offering a service to them. Basically, is what you're doing.
Right, whether it's buyers or sellers.
Mm-hmm.
You're running ads saying, "Hey, I buy houses." Then you're running ads saying, "Hey, I sell this house." Ultimately, the seller and the buyer, they're all your clients.
Correct.
We've had sellers that we've made so happy that they went on and gave us 2 or 3 leads from their friends. We've had buyers do the same thing. So it's very important that you deal with people and situations correctly. And it's all about integrity, honesty, creating win-win situations. We harp on that all the time. Don't try and take advantage of everybody you can in business, because ultimately that will come back to you. So you always want to deal with the people, the situations, have honesty, integrity, and just make everybody, create a win-win situation. There's always, if you're creative in your mind, you can always come up with something.
I mean, you're also you're talking about buyers and sellers of your widgets or whatever, but you also got to deal with people that are going to back you for money, for investors that's going to want to work with you. So you got to put this out there in a way that they trust you and everything is on the up. And like you said, it's got to be a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah, and I just look at it as anybody I deal with in our real estate investing business is a client, mm-hmm. whether it's a seller, a buyer, a lender, a contractor, whatever it is, they are truly clients in our business.
Correct.
So I don't know about anybody else out there, but if you don't treat your clients right, you won't be in business very long.
No, customer service. It's just like customer service in any aspect of life. Customer service is what keeps your engine running. You got to have that.
Right.
That's part of whether it be the oil, whether it be the fuel. It just depends on how it is in your business. But that's what makes part of your engine run. Without that, your engine's not going to run, so you're not going to move forward.
Exactly. And then another thing we wanted to discuss was focus. What do we mean by focus? If, let's say you have a business of any type and you lose focus on that business, 99.9% of the time that business will start going like this. I've seen it over and over and over again.
And what happens when it gets down here?
Yeah, then
everybody's like,
"Oh, I got to refocus."
The focus is there all of a sudden, so they build it back up to the top of this wave, and they get up there, then they try to ride that wave, and they think, "Okay, we're here, nothing can stop." So they lose focus on what got them top of that wave. Slowly but surely, back to the bottom of that wave, and then again, ride back up the bottom, and they got to work their way back up. So focus is a mindset. We're use millionaires for example out there. They have 7 or 8 basic traits that they don't deviate from 7 days a week.
Right.
There's something in them.
Time management,
integrity. There's things in their business, in their daily life, that they make sure they don't lose the focus on that way.
Right, and most of the time when people lose focus, the reason being is they get to a point, like let's say they've set a goal of, I want to make $200,000 a year, whatever that is. They get to that point and they think, okay, I did it. And then they go on to something else, or they try something else. They don't keep building. They don't set a new goal and go up past that goal and set a new one. So the big thing is you want to get to your goal and set a new goal. Say, okay, now I made 200, now I want to make 500, now I want to make 1 million, now I want to make whatever, to keep going up that ladder instead of going to the 200 and then being like a roller coaster and going right back down the hill. I've seen people do that too.
We've seen a lot of people ride that wave where, it's hard as you ride that wave, the longer you ride it and the longer you go down, sometimes the deeper pit you get, it's harder to get out sometimes. So that's the one thing you got to stay focused, stay at the top. That's a very important part of everyday business in anybody's life.
Yeah, and I was looking at an article. It's titled "Focusing on Business," and this is we all know this is a crazy time, and the economy's a little goofy, and the jobs they go up and down, and the availability of jobs. So one of the paragraphs in this, it says, in short, there's a new dynamic in play, one in which both caution and optimism coexist. That is true. We've been dealing with a lot of people lately, and it seems like they're really unstable. Like they will say, okay, I want this house, or okay, I want to sell this house, but let me think about it. And then they'll call you back, and then they don't want to sell it or buy it. Then they'll call you back again, then they do. It's just kind of a crazy thing. But you know what? It's more important for us as a business owner to focus on staying in touch with them, being there for them. It's just the way the game's played right now. And some people think, what's going to happen to the economy? Some people think, maybe it'll get better in the future. Some people don't think it will. Everybody's kind of all over the place.
Well, the biggest thing on that even is don't get discouraged, because in this market, in this business, there's hundreds and hundreds of other opportunities out there. So we know some people get kind of discouraged when things come up and come down. You think you're going to do something and something doesn't happen. But that's business. That's an everyday business in every business that you do. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You have the same kind of situations happen. So don't let it discourage you. You just know there's a better deal coming up tomorrow, or a better deal next week, or they'll be back to you. It doesn't matter. But you handle it the right way. You handle it with integrity. And this is where your people skills are important.
They're very important. And they're a big, huge key element factor in being successful. So right here he says, in short, there's a new dynamic in play, one in which both caution and optimism coexist. Right now, there's a delicate balance between the two, but I believe that positive forces will win the day, and when that tipping point occurs, normal business behavior will come roaring back. In the U.S. and globally, signs of this are already observable in, for example, significant gains in industrial production, robust export growth, and gradual improvement in credit availability. And I agree with him. I think that as long as the government doesn't change some crazy laws or go nuts with something that everybody freaks out about, I think we'll gradually come back, because we're not, I wouldn't call it normal, but we're getting back to getting stabilized.
Yeah, the healing time is now and coming back to normal, basically, is what I feel and what we see in the market. Now, I mean, there's areas that are still way down, but there's areas that are way up. So you're going to come to a balance at some point here. It's got to happen. So,
and people have money.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have cash inside waiting. They're just sitting there, just waiting on them.
Oh, we know people that's got millions of dollars. They won't touch it. Just sitting there doing nothing. It's making them no money. It's actually losing them money because of inflation. So, I mean, there's a certain aspect amount of money you got that makes you money because of just how much it is. But for the guys that only have a few $100,000, a lot of that's they're losing money because of inflation, but they don't want to touch it. That's like their nest egg. They're afraid to do anything with it.
And the big thing about the whole thing is right now, I think it's more important than ever to focus on your business and your people and your clients and good customer service. Because if you do that, you will beat out every other business that there is that's competition. That's my opinion, but that's what I'm seeing. I mean, there's companies that we've dealt with that are on our dream team that they started off great and they went down the tubes and we quit using them because of their horrible customer service. So that's a very important thing right now.
All right, we took enough of your time today. Thank you for joining us for our weekly real estate real world update. You can check us out on Facebook, The Art of Getting Deals. Look us up on YouTube for other videos that we do. artofgettingdeals.com.
You can email us, info@theartofgettingdeals.com. Just give us a shout if you got any comments or you want us to cover any topics or you want to get in touch with us, network, whatever you want to do. It's info@theartofgettingdeals.com. Have a great day and happy investing.